Oh my god. My boys are coming tomorrow. I've got the shopping coming today. And I've got a lot to do today. I've got a lot to make. I've got to make shortbread. I haven't made shortbread in a long time and I can't decide which recipe to use. Because I can't get this wrong, because obviously Gabriel's my business partner and he lets me know when he doesn't like something. I've only done one thing so far that he hasn't liked, but it's not that there was anything wrong with it. He just said it wasn't his thing. Whereas Thomas absolutely loved it and my neighbour loved it as well. So, it just wasn't his thing. He said that it's not that he said he wouldn't not buy it. He said if it was the only thing there, he would buy it, but it wouldn't be the first thing he bought if there were other things that I'd made on offer. It was a flavoured chocolate, but everybody else liked it, so it was just like a personal preference thing. But this time, I'm not worried about the shortbread because I grew up making shortbread. It's just that there's so many different kinds of recipes, and I need to get this just right because he's Scottish. He was born in Scotland, and you don't want to insult the Scottish by making a crap shortbread, especially if we wanted to sell it. So he's very particular. So pleasing his taste buds is exceptionally important, and I want to make hot beef sandwiches and hot pork sandwiches and hot chicken sandwiches. And so I'm also going to be making like hot chicken sandwiches, but where I've got to make the marinade for it, and I'm going to soak it, for like 24 hours and then grill it. And it's going to be like this whole thing. And then I'm doing a dessert with my chocolate brownie, which I'm completely fine with. I know that they more than approve of my chocolate brownie, which I would, moving to a country where it's legal, I'd like to do a weed brownie as well, and have it in my cellar in my like philosopher's corner cafe. So um, that's where all like the artists and writers and that would go. They can sit and do their art or sit and write or listen to poetry or read poetry or whatever, and drink nice coffees and you know have a smoke and have brownies and other things that we have on offer there. So, but I'm topping this brownie with homemade chocolate ice cream, and I am absolutely pooping myself because I've made homemade ice cream a couple of times before and the boys really loved them, but this is something altogether different because my boy is actually looking forward to having it, which means it's already like he's going to have high expectations of what it is going to taste like. And obviously, because we want to be able to make ice cream in our ice cream store fresh on location, fresh on the spot, and change the recipes and flavors up and that sort of thing. If it works well this week, I want to try a chocolate banana one as well. Then we get to mix the flavors up in our ice cream parlor and have like ice cream of the month and all of that. And everybody knows that our ice cream is made on the spot and it's fresh and it's made all by hand. And then it's great for the dairy farmer and all of that because we want to have our own dairy brand, Deliciously Dairy. So there's even an aphrodisiac ice cream. So I'm so nervous. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. And I mean, I'm making the milkshakes. They want my milkshakes. buy a lot of surrounding land as well and close it off to hunters. And then I'll have a park ranger who can go around looking after all the animals. And then if there's any injured animals, or anyone that needs help with any animals and that, then we can put them in our little petting zoo. Have vets to look after them, and any kids that want to learn animal husbandry or make some money mucking out some pens or stables or anything like that, then the staff there have got the help and the kids get to make a little bit of extra money. But then they'll have hearty food to eat because we'll sell hearty food, but also the kind of food where you can grab it, sit in the park and listen to a concert in the amphitheatre, at the lily pad. Or, sit in the park with one of our picnic baskets, or walk through the woods and eat a pie or a sandwich, or, sit in the forest or whatever. And then when you're done, you can just throw your crumbs and all of that on the ground, and then we have all our animals, they'll be attracted by the food. So yes, we're going to sell bags of animal feed that you'll be able to throw down, and then any of my staff that are working at night, they'll be able to sit and watch all the from safety. Obviously, if there's bears and wolves, they'll be able to sit from the safety of where they are and be surrounded by wildlife eating at night. We'll have little cameras and all of that, so they'll be able to see everything. But yeah, so I just said to my boys, when we get out of here, I need big fridge freezers, I need a few fridges, I need a few freezers, because I want to get my ice cream recipes. I've got about 15 different kind of ice cream recipes to learn to make, but no freezer space or anything like that. I don't even have the proper kind of bowls yet. So when we get out of here, I said that they've given me permission to have whatever I want. I can have anything I want. I'm just not allowed to get a juicer. Apparently, Gabriel has a fundamental hatred of juices. So, so they're going to have to rate the ice cream. And then when I get cooks and bakers and chefs, and then I can hand the recipes over to them and we can work on it together. And then everything else that goes in the shelves has got everyone's seal of approval, because I've been forbidden from putting anything on our shelves or in people's bellies that doesn't meet Gabriel's approval. If it doesn't meet his approval, I'm not allowed to sell it. He's forbidden me from making money off anything he doesn't approve of when it comes to the food. Which is fair enough. So so ice cream, and because it's summer, and oh my god, I'm so nervous. But I'm making it up this afternoon, so I'll take photos, and that if it works out, I'll take photos of everything. And then I can prove to people that you can eat really well, even little treats, and it not be bad for you, and it be, under a budget. Because I'll say this costs a total of blah to make. This costs a total of blah to make, So people will be like, my God, if you can do all of that on 70 quid, or in my baking's case, about 15 quid. But my grocery bill is because all the stuff that I'm doing for while they're here, and it's gonna be a lot, because the first pay I always feed them like kings, on a budget. But I know how to do it, because when you're poor, you watch your mother know how to stretch a dollar. My mum could make a dollar stretch far and wide when I was a kid, so luckily she taught me how to do it too. And it's a great way to keep the costs down for the foundation. But everything is organic, and everything is fresh, and everything is healthy, and it's handmade, and homemade, so you know what's in it. So you don't have to worry about artificial sugars and artificial flavours and, artificial colours, and then it's all going to be the stuff that your mother makes or granny. Because it's Mama Bear's Kitchen Cafe and Bakery, so, and Miss Mouse's Brew House, and their mums, and their aunties and their grandmothers, and they're making the same food that they make their family, but they're just opening their kitchen windows and doors and letting the smell waft out. And if people come along because they're attracted to the smells of Mama Bear's pies and that, then she's going to sell them a few. Make a bit of money on the side. While Papa Bear's out chopping woods and protecting the perimeter and that, she's going to make, homemade pies and soups and breads and rolls and pastries and nice hot sandwiches and that. And if you come along and you want some of her blueberry pancakes or her chocolate chip pancakes or anything like that, some nice bacon, then she's going to sell it to you and make some money on the side. So I already know how I want the cafe and bakery to look too. I want it to look like it's all made, like a bear's den that's under a tree. And it's going to look totally like country cottage, with like floral handmade curtains that she's sewing herself and little tablecloths and that she's got little vases with flowers in them. She goes around in the morning when she's collecting her honey and picking things from the garden, the communal garden that Mr. Hedgehog takes care of. And she, makes her food and then she sells it. And everything's going to be made from like recycled wood, and it's going to have that real earthy country cottage kind of feel to it. But also as well, for the people that come and stay, like, at the hotel bit, and that is also where we will serve breakfast, for the all you can eat breakfasts. So, but yeah, like in the winter time, obviously she's going to have like a big fire, like light the fire. I want to get my bricks from Tunisia for the fireplace, and so like in the summer when it's all snowing and people come in off the snow and that'll like have the fire burning with the big fireplace, and she'll have soup and like warm it up and do hot chocolate. And I want to learn how to make my own mulled wine and hot apple cider as well. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't. That's why I have to live somewhere where it snows as well. I'm planning on making a lot of money, for the winter period. Um, I can't wait. I'm so excited. So yeah, so the ice cream is we're having a separate ice cream parlour because I'm from New Zealand and we eat ice cream all the seasons. They do it here in the UK as well. Like you'll be able to get ice cream, winter, spring, summer, and autumn here. Everybody enjoys a nice ice cream, but Yorkshire make the best ice cream. I mean, I love Scotland, but Yorkshire absolutely does the best dairy, and which is why our dairy is going to be called White Rose, because it's to pay respects to the incredible Yorkshire dairy. That nobody does dairy like the Yorkshire, and like we lived in Scotland. And when they make ice cream with the dairy from the cows around here, oh my God. And so Gabriel and I want to expand on that and, represent Yorkshire in our ice cream parlour. In our ice cream parlour, you'll be able to get, obviously like all different kinds of ice cream sundaes, and basically if you can put ice cream on it, like the brownies and the ice cream sundaes and banana splits and milkshakes and ice cream cones and all of that, then that's where you'll get it, at our ice cream parlour. So the kids have got somewhere to hang out, and especially like in the summertime when it's hot, people come and get a nice, because I learnt that as well from Rome, from going to Rome in Italy. They have ice cream shops, gelato shops all over Rome. And oh my God, do these people know how to make ice cream ice cream sundaes in there. I had some of the best ice cream sundaes I'd ever had when I was in Rome. So you learn a lot when you're out travelling. And I've got sorbet down pat. The boys absolutely adore my sorbet, fresh fruit sorbet. So, we're going to have a wee place there that's just going to cater to everything. And it's going to be sort of like, a 1950s style ice cream parlour. I've always wanted like a 1950s style ice cream parlour, like in Back to the Future and all that, the sort that my mum and dad used to go out on dates, and yeah, and I want them, want like the staff and that to dress up like in 1950s style with the hats and the aprons and all of that. So yeah, but you'll be able to get like your milkshakes and your smoothies and your sorbets and ice cream sundaes and yeah, maybe have like sell like because we want to make our own crisps as well, our own chips or what we call in New Zealand chippies. And we've got ready sorted. I've made those before. I've made salt and vinegar. I want to have a go at making chicken flavoured and barbecue as well. And because we'll make our own fresh, crisp chippies every day and, seal them and sell them and that. So we'll sell our chippies and maybe. Because in my department store, the Alchemist Cavern, I'm going to have like a candy corner where you'll be able to buy like all our chocolates and protein bars and that. But the ice cream parlour is pretty much going to be ice creams and milkshakes and sorbets, and you'll be able to get crisps. You'll be able to get crisps in most of the places, like our cookies and that. We'll sell them like individually and in packets and stuff all over the place. So, like, even when you book a hotel, there'll be like a selection of the things that we make, like on in like a little gift basket in your room waiting for you. So, because everybody says when they come to me, it's like staying in a hotel, that the way that I treat everybody, and they say that like they sleep better than they've ever slept, and it's like coming home. I'm like home to them. So I want to profit off that and have it as like a place for people to come and just chill and not have to worry about cooking. But when they eat, they're eating good food, even if they're having fish and chips from our fish and chip shop, or one of our burgers, or one of our sandwiches. They know that the wheat is going to be clean without pesticides and chemicals in it. They know that, everything's been looked after and fed well and respected, and there's like this whole thing going on that I'm not going to go into right now, but people are going to respect what they're eating and what they're putting in their body, because it's all going to be healing for them. They won't really put on any weight. We'll have a gym there if they want to go to the gym, but they're not really going to have to worry about putting on weight, because all the food that I'm going to be making and selling is all the food that I eat. And how much weight have I lost off my food? Like what, 18 stone, and I'm still losing weight, and I can still eat what I want. Even every now and then, if I want to have something with a little bit of sugar in it, like a chocolate peanut, I will let myself have that as a treat, and it does my body no harm, as long as I don't overdo it. Otherwise I end up getting like sore joints and like flu-like symptoms, and then it's absolutely horrible if I have sugar now. My body doesn't like it. But every now and then, like what I usually do, my treat is either ice cream or chocolate peanuts. But when I can figure out how to make my own sugarless chocolate peanuts, I'll make my own chocolate peanuts, but they won't have sugar in it, because I can make I can make chocolate without sugar in it. So I'm going to have a naughty and nice range. But the naughty range, there's going to be like my Scottish tablet, which is like so far beyond naughty. It's like in the pits of hell. It is so unhealthy for you. You might have to sign a medical waiver to say, don't hold me responsible if you go into like a diabetic overload or something, because my Scottish tablet is so nice. It's pure evil with the amounts of sugar that is in that stuff. We will not be selling the stuff in large quantities. We will sell them in little bite-sized morsels. That's how evil and sweet this stuff is. But then we will also have the range where I see I can make like coconut ice. I make really good Russian fudge. I make really good fudge. So you're going to have the middle of the line sweet stuff right through to the sugarless stuff that's like vegan friendly or um, people with diabetes friendly. I'm going to have like a whole range, and I'll work with my chocolatiers and my bakers and my sous chefs and all of that, So we're going to have like a whole range, but other than the stuff that's in the Burning Pits of Hell range, like even I want to do my own beer. Even my own beer is going to be good for you. It's going to be medicinal. All my food is supernatural. It heals you as you eat it because it healed my body and it's healing my son's bodies. I've mentioned this before, the difference in my eldest son when he first started coming here to what he looks like now is like night and day as far as his skin and his mental health and his physical body and that. It's like he's just transformed right in front of my eyes, and it's all because he's coming home to me. He's relaxed, he's calm. We have had incredible family meetings where we've sat and talked things out. We've gotten things out in the open. We've had cries, we've had cuddles, we've had laughs, we've had incredible business meetings. We've had really fruitful like discussions with storylines and product lines and toy lines and all of that, because it's feeding them what they love. Mama's home cooked food and their kind of entertainment, the stuff that appeals to them. So these kids are going to come and I'm going to feed them stuff that appeals to them, and then people can come and stay and be a part of all of that. And they can have their spa treatments, they can have their hair done. It's going to be all my products. They won't have to worry about a thing. They'll arrive with nice little gift baskets that will have my beer in it, that will have my cider in it. They can let us know if they don't drink alcohol, and then we can replace it with like our fizzy pop or coupons to come and get like a free ice cream down at the milk bar sort of thing. And then they can just spend a week walking around our foundation, seeing how movies are made, seeing how video games are made, maybe even being a part of the experience and lending a voice or a face or a whatever, a skill. And if not, they can just sit in the park and watch people or kids put on concerts and plays and performances. They can bring their children and not have to worry about a thing because the Babysitters Club will take care of everything, including if they want to have a drink at night. And if they want to stay in the bar, if mum and dad want to stay in the bar till 2 o'clock in the morning when it closes and they've got kids, we've got the Babysitters Club there where they'll sleep in the dorms. And they won't have to worry about a thing, and the parents will be able to check on them anytime they want through their phones. So then if they want to stumble back to their room and have a dirty night, they won't even have to worry about getting up in the morning to feed their kids because the kids would have already been served breakfast probably by the time they get up. So my boys and I said basically from the second you go through those portal gates at the foundation, because it's going to feel like you're driving through like a portal, like you're going to think you're driving into the wall, but you're actually going through like it's going to look like a fake portal. From the second you walk through, you can open your doors and let your kids run free, and you're not going to have to worry about a single thing until you get back in that car and leave. Because like I want to promote like traditional values, so the stuff that we have created for our resort, let alone the foundations, which is like a mini resort, like the trial run for the big thing. When you bring your kids, you're going to be able to just completely let go. And girls, if your boys are deciding to come to us to have their bachelor parties, because of things that I've got specifically planned for bachelor and bachelorette parties and that, you're not going to have to worry about them in any way, shape, or form, because we're family traditions, we're communal traditions, we're civilized. Yes, we'll have a bar. Yes, you'll have alcohol. Yes, you'll have access to weed. But nobody's going to be being stupid. And if you just want to let your kids run free and you're here for a long weekend and you never see your kid for those entire 3 days, you won't have to worry about a thing, because we're going to have everything taken care of, because we've got the Babysitters Club. Because as much and all as what it is to have a great family holiday, and that sometimes some parents deserve to just let their hair down and yes, holiday with the kids, but not have to worry about wondering where they are. Like, they can just let them go, because we're like going to be one family. You know, like my family do it. You know how you'll all book like holidays together. You'll all go on holiday and stay in cabins in Colorado or something. Well, my family did that, where we would rent out like summer camps and like caravan parks and all of that, and we'd go and stay and we'd have a few days. But obviously, because it wasn't like my business and that you had to watch your kids. Well, we're going to be like that, but where you won't have to watch your kids, where you don't have to worry about whether they're being fed, whether they're being put to bed. The only thing you will be required to do is wash them. Like, when it comes to bathing, you will have to bathe your children. So, but the Babysitters Club, we're there. Check up on your kids. You won't even have to worry about a thing. Just meet them in the room when it's time for them to, like when it comes to the bathing stuff, that's going to be completely up to the parents. But all you have to do is just like sit in the room for an hour or half an hour, or however long it's going to take for them to have a shower. But I can guarantee you that most kids will want to be in and out in 15 minutes, because we're going to have so much fun for them. There's going to be so much fun things for them to do. Making movies, making video games, watching concerts, being in concerts, being, playing dress up, having tea parties, walking through the forest and feeding animals. And there's going to be so much for these kids to do. When it comes shower time, little alarms are going to go off on their little tag things, and they'll have to, meet with a babysitter. The babysitter will walk them to the parents will walk them to have their showers, get them dressed. The parents can go back to what they're doing, or the guardian can go back to what they're doing, and then everybody goes back to normal. And then that's it. They don't have to see them again until it's next day, because they're going to be sweaty, they're going to be covered in food, they're going to be exhausted. These kids are going to be falling into bed at night. They'll go to bed with a story time. The story room is going to have like a big oversized chair, so the den mother or den father sitting in the chair is going to look little, and there's going to be like a grandmother tree there, and every day she's going to have a different book in her branches for somebody to read. And then all the kids at the Babysitters Club that are staying overnight, they'll sit and they can have their milk or their hot chocolate or whatever it is they drink, and a couple of cookies with their bedtime story, and then they'll brush their teeth and they'll go off to bed, just like my boys did. So everybody who comes here, from the stories that I tell to the way that I treat them and the food that I serve and the way that I fuss over them, and that they say it's like a holiday, and that when they leave they're so relaxed and their batteries are recharged and they feel incredible, that they look forward to coming back next time. So I want to capitalize on that. So my food has to be perfect. And if my food is keeping my little cubs' tummies happy, and they give the go-ahead to be able to open the doors and sell this stuff, then that's what I'm going to do. People say that they love walking past my flat because it's always smelling of something yummy. Well, that's what I want for Mama Bear's Kitchen, Cafe and Bakery. When we open the doors, and that the smell of the fresh bread being made, and because there'll be like a bakery part on one side. obviously we can get like all your fresh pies and pastries and goodies in that, and then there'll be the bit where you can sit and have your soups and rolls and all of that, so you can walk around with our food or you can sit down and eat it. I know exactly how I want it to look. I know exactly how I want it to look. I want people to say it was like going home. Going to the foundation was like going home. Like I felt like I was at my mum's place or at my nan's, or I know exactly how I want the rooms to look. I know exactly how I want it to look. And then any country that lets me build a foundation is going to have an incredible place for tourists to go to, because obviously we've got a lot of plans for a lot of festivals to keep bringing people in, because obviously we're going to be opening our doors to not just people that are staying there, but for people passing by as well. Not everybody's going to have time to stay for 3 days or a week, but if you're passing by and we do really good pies and you're travelling, like you can eat our pies while you're travelling. You can eat our pies hot, you can eat them cold. You could grab, a half a dozen pies when you're driving off on your truck to your next destination that's like a few hours away and you've still got a bit to drive. Grab a few of our pies, just pull over and eat our pies. You'll be completely fine. Your wives and your mums and that won't even have to worry about whether you're eating well, because they'll know if they're eating my food, they're being looked after. Because I was raised to cook the kind of food that keeps hard-working men healthy and happy. So, yes, so I can't wait. So I'm nervous, I'm so nervous, because this ice cream's everything. And if I get it right, then next week I want to have a go at making chocolate and banana. And then if that goes well, I want to have a go at making coffee, because I love coffee and cream. It's one of my favourites. And also rum and raisin. So yes, I'm going to start experimenting. So when it goes well, I'll put pictures up. But yeah, I've got like this whole... I'm getting excited. I'm getting so excited.